This movie was absolute garbage. It was literal trash. I couldn't even stomach it. It wasn't watchable. It was boring. The editing was slow and didn't make any sense. It kept jumping back and forth over and over again. It was a mesh between episode 5 and episode 6, and it was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. Nearly 25% of the dialogue in the film was stolen from the original trilogy. Nearly all good aspects of this film were stolen from the original trilogy. It's not watchable. It's predictable. Oh, Snoke dies. Who could have seen that coming? Everyone. Oh, Rey doesn't turn to the dark side. Who could have seen that coming? It's a weird mesh between episode 5 and episode 6. It's weird as heck. It's just like the first half of episode 5 and then the last half of episode 6 combined into one movie. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. Who's writing this? Nobody. They're just stealing ideas and just rewriting it into this so-called film. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage. I couldn't even watch it. I had to turn on my phone and just scroll through. It was so boring because it's so predictable. There's no tension. Even in the scenes where you think there's tension, there's no tension. And if you like this movie, you're an idiot. You're not a Star Wars fan. People are saying this is better than The Force Awakens. You're an idiot. It's like 10 times worse than The Force Awakens, and The Force Awakens was 100 times worse than the prequels. This movie, at least you could watch The Force Awakens and not want to fall asleep within the first 10 minutes. This movie's just utterly insane. It's like they're not even trying anymore. Like, nothing in this movie's original. Nothing. Zero, zilch. Every line of dialogue was stolen or ripped off from some aspect of the original. Every single aspect of this movie that is even watchable was stolen from the original trilogy. I mean, George Lucas, he should sue. He should sue for copyright. Like, what the heck? What the heck? Like, this movie is just a joke. It's just an absolute joke. I couldn't stomach it. It was like Star Wars was being torn right from my hand. I mean, Star Wars was dead after The Force Awakens, but this is just putting the icing on the cake for how dead it is. Like, what the heck? What the heck? Snoke. What is up with him? He looks like total trash. What machine was he rendered on? Was he rendered on Windows 98? What is this, 2001? Like, why does he look so cheap? He looks so cheap. He looks so fake and flimsy and plasticky and it's like what? It's like they're not even trying to immerse you into the story. They're just trying to appeal to their audience as much as possible. Appeal to their audience by shoehorning Yoda, by shoehorning Luke, by shoehorning nostalgic dialogue, by shoehorning R2-D2, by shoehorning C3PO, by shoehorning Princess Leia. They're shoehorning all these people because they know not one person would be in the movie theater if Luke, Leia, and at least some of the original cast wasn't in it. Because the new cast sucks. It sucks. The Asian person, the Asian girl, she is so annoying. Like, seriously, she is so freaking annoying. I couldn't even stomach the scenes she was in. Her character is a definition of annoying. Like, it's just the epitome of annoyance. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. I gotta go through one whole movie with her again. And who knows what the next movie's gonna be. It's probably just going to be a Death Star or a Star Killer Base 2.0. They're gonna blow up the Star Killer Base, and then the end is just gonna be the next movie. We already know how it's gonna end. They're gonna make a Star Killer Base 2.0. They're gonna blow it up. Rey's gonna verse Kylo Ren. Rey's gonna win. There's gonna be maybe Finn. He'll marry the Asian girl. I don't remember her name. And then Rey, she'll become a Jedi Master or whatever. And then Luke, he'll mentor her as a Force ghost. Just more ripping off of the original trilogy. Stuff we've seen before, but for some reason, it'll make billions of dollars. Billions upon billions of dollars. This cheap, flimsy, bottom of the barrel, $5 bin movie will make billions, while good movies make close to nothing, and you morons will continue to give them your money gleefully. And they are driving the movie industry down to the ground. Why don't we just give Disney all of Hollywood? It's no longer called Hollywood. It's called Disneywood because it's owned by Disney. They own all the movies. They own everything. So we might as well just give it to them. They're a huge conglomerate monopoly. They don't actually set out to make a good movie. They come out to make money. They buy franchises, they run it down to the ground, and then when the franchise is used up, then they sell it off for a fraction of the price. They've already made their profit back tenfold probably off of merchandise, marketing, and ticket sales. And let's not forget DVD sales and what have you and whatnot. It's a shoo-in. There's no challenge for them anymore. They own Hollywood. They own the entire entertainment industry. It's a joke. It's a joke. Are we going to just sit here and act like Star Wars isn't being run to the ground? Are we just going to sit here just because they dangled some nostalgic scenes in front of our faces and shoehorn some nostalgic dialogue from our favorite characters? We're just going to sit here and act like they're not running our favorite franchises down to the ground. Ooh, C-3PO, he said, the probability of that is 3001. And the version of the movie I was watching, it was bootleg, and people actually laughed at that during the bootleg recording. I was like, what? That's funny? I mean, real Star Wars fans, how could you laugh at that? Real Star Wars fans have seen the movie, the original trilogy, like 30 times. So they don't laugh at that joke anymore. Especially a dumbed down version of the joke. Real Star Wars fans would never laugh at something that's already been done. Since the 80s or the 70s, you wouldn't, because it's used up. They're just doing it to get the approval of stupid Star Wars fans. Like, come on, the plot of the movie, I can't even think of the plot of the movie because it makes no sense. Okay, so the Resistance is chasing the rebellion throughout the duration of the movie. Stuff we've already seen before in The Empire Strikes Back. The last battle takes place on a salt planet. No, see, it's different. It's not a snow planet. It's a salt planet. That doesn't make any sense. You're just taking elements of the movie and just scribbling it out and replacing it with things that look like it. It's a bootleg version of the original. It's if I wanted to see a bootleg version of the original, I just go to my local barber shop and buy a DVD, a bootleg DVD of the original trilogy. I wouldn't want to pay $25 for a movie ticket on a movie I've already seen before. Who wants to do that? What moron would praise this movie? It has a 60%, I believe, on Rotten Tomatoes, last time I checked. A 60%. But the critic rating is even higher. It has like a 90%. Let me look it up right now. It has 93%. Now, if you still believe that 93% of these critics on Rotten Tomatoes aren't being bought out in some way, then I have a bridge to sell you. Like, how can something get a 55% audience score and then a 93% critic rating? That doesn't even make any sense. And their reasoning for it is so bizarre. It's like, oh, it's nice to see a new Star Wars film. 9 out of 10. That's a stupid reason for it. Like, can you tell us what's so great about the characters? Nothing. Nothing's great about the characters. Because we've already seen every single character element before. We've already seen a Jedi get trained and go through trials and tribulations. We've already seen a Jedi Master have to come out and shine once more. We've seen that with Yoda, and now they're just replacing Yoda with Luke. We've already seen a Jedi Master in hiding. We've already seen a giant super weapon. We've already seen the rebellion on the run. We've already seen a Sith Lord be tempted to go back to the good side. We've already seen a Sith Lord get cut down by his own apprentice. It's stupid. It's dumb. It's dumb. It's a waste of time and effort. You have thousands of people working on this that spent their time working on this just to make something that's already been made. It's a clone. Let's call it what it is. It's a clone. It's a cheap replica of the original. It's a dumbed down bootleg copy of the original. It's garbage. It's a rotten tomato. It's dumb. It's a disgrace to the franchise. And if they keep making movies like this, there won't be any more money in Star Wars. That Star Wars brand name will be irrelevant. It won't have as much money behind it anymore. People will soon stop throwing their money at it. It has a 55% rating with audiences at Rotten Tomatoes. That means 55% of your, or 45% of your audience will not see the next movie, most likely. Although it may or may not be higher than that or lower than that, we know a significant amount of people will not see the next movie, and this is due to the repetitive, boring nature of the film. Like, there's no interesting characters. Really, the most interesting character for me was Luke Skywalker, or maybe even Princess Leia, who is no longer a princess for whatever reason. It's just torture. It's like watching everything you've seen in the original just get tore down. I mean, why is the rebellion back to being a little band of ships? Like, even in the original trilogy, they weren't just a band of small frigates. They had the Mon Calamari cruisers. They had an entire fleet. But now they're just a small band of cruisers. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. It's like watching your childhood just get torn to pieces. They should have went down the route of taking the plot from the books, because the books were way better written and had way better character development than this piece of garbage. Hey, or even just go off of the Jedi Knight, Jedi Outcast, Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy video games. They had a much better plot than this. This is just Of course they're not going to go off of plots that are actually original, because that means they can't capitalize off of the past success.